Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. And with me today is John Coleman, and he's the Executive Director for Secondary Schools. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we have a lot to discuss today because you have the MPS Specialty Showcase that's coming up, and that's for our middle and high school students to look at or take a sneak peek at our specialty programs. So tell us what that's all about.
Well, this is our showcase night that's coming up on November 9th, and this is our first opportunity for this school year to share with parents all of our programs and kind of give them a snapshot of what NPS offers. We have some outstanding opportunities for middle school and high school students, and so this is that opportunity for parents to get their first look at some of the programs if they haven't before.
Now, I think we've been doing the middle and high schools for the last 3 years, so what are we doing different this year?
Well, what we've done in the last several years is we've had the program jointly. We do the middle schools and the high schools, and we've used Lake Taylor High School's auditorium. This year, we're going to split that up. We'll still be at Lake Taylor High School. However, they have the luxury of having two different cafeteria sites. And so we're going to use one cafeteria for high school and one cafeteria for middle schools, which will allow middle school parents to be able to see both presentations, so that as a rising middle school parent, they'll be able to see the high school program, but they'll also be able to see the middle school program and know how that one feeds to the other.
So what type of turnout do we normally get, and what's your goal this year for attendance?
Well, we'll take as many folks as that are interested. We normally get quite a few parents coming out along with their students. It's a strong turnout. And so the goal is, again, to allow parents to get that first look so that they can start, developing, what their informed choices might be. We want them to see each program and look at each program on it, the merits of each program, and what might be the best fit for their child.
Great. So now tell us, what are some of the specialty programs we have in middle school and high school?
We have a specialty program in each of our 5 high schools. So at Maury, we have the medical specialty program. At Norview High School, we have the Leadership Center for Sciences and Engineering. At Lake Taylor High School, we have Leadership and Military Science. At Booker T. Washington, we have the Performing Arts. And at Granby, we have the IB International Baccalaureate program. And then at our middle schools, we have the Blair program, which is the pre-medical and engineering program. We have the Young Scholars program, which is for identified gifted students, and that's both at Ruffner and Norview Middle School. We also have the Academy for International Studies at Rosemont. Then we also have the Academy of Discovery.
We've got a lot of them.
At Lakewood, and we've got the STEM Academy, or the Southside STEM Academy at Camp Estella. So we have lots of different options that are available out there for parents and students.
We really do. We have a lot of options and opportunities for our students. So really, how will it benefit our students?
Well, this is allowing those students that perform at a very high academic level, and it gives them some different opportunities and different challenges to stay on that track, so that we're challenging students where they might be. And for those students that are gifted or performing at a very high academic level, we have options out there that will hopefully meet their needs.
So why is it important for us to offer specialty programs like this in our middle schools?
Well, I believe Norfolk has been out on the front edge in terms of looking for ways to meet the needs of all students. And so for those students, again, that perform at a high level, that are academically needing to be challenged and have specific goals in mind in terms of college and career readiness, this provides them some opportunities that might meet those needs. And even if they decide to choose a different path after having been in a program or programs, the preparation they get really lends itself well to the direction they may want to go in the future.
Now this is key for folks watching at home. How are the students selected? What's the process?
There's a very rigorous process. Again, we're looking for those students that perform high, on the high range for academics. But there is a rubric that is put in place, and so grades are looked at. SOL performance history in terms of testing is looked at. Student attendance has to be good. Their student discipline has to be good. Again, we're looking for that all-around student that's going to perform at that high level.
So how does the application process work?
Well, on our showcase night, which is November 9th, the applications will become live. And so parents would be able to go to the website for each individual school or the district website and be able to download that application. The application process is not very difficult. There's things that need to be completed. If parents or students need help with that process, they can get help from their counselor or by calling the program director for that specific school if they have questions. The applications themselves, we have a window that is open from November 9th all the way to January 27th. And so within that amount of time, parents have the option to complete the application for that program. They can apply for more than one program if they're interested. So if parents see that there may be one or two or even three programs that might fit the needs of their child, they're more than welcome to apply to all three.
Right, that's important because I'm sure that would be a question a parent would have, that, whichever one that I get into, maybe I can get into this one, maybe I can get into that one. So it gives them lots of choices, and that's a great thing for parents.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it begins November 9th, and then they can come and get their application. So when are applications due back?
Applications are due back to their current school by January 27th.
January 27th.
And from that point, then it goes to the program directors. Each committee at the school will again apply that rubric. In some cases, particularly for the high school, there are students that will be brought in as finalists. There will be potentially some testing involved. There's a process that takes place, and it varies a little bit from program to program. And parents will get more details on that process if they come to the showcase night. And then as well, after November 9th, after the showcase, each individual school will also host an open house for their specialty program, so parents can get more detail for individual programs after the specialty showcase night if they're interested.
Okay, so let us know the date, the times, and the locations for this event.
Okay, so once again, the specialty showcase night for all of Norfolk Public Schools specialty programs, both middle and high school, is November 9th at Lake Taylor High School. The high school program will begin at 5:30. The middle school program will begin at 7 p.m. Both will take place at Lake Taylor High School in individual cafeterias, and we will be able to give directions to parents as to which direction to go once they arrive at the site.
Great, and we'll make sure that we have that information on our website available for parents to view as well. Thank you for coming in and talking about our specialty showcase night.
You're very welcome, and we're hoping that we'll get another big crowd as usual.
I'm sure we will. And we want you to stay tuned for more MPS Now.
Welcome back to MPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we have two guests here to talk a little bit about middle school sports in our fall season that we just wrapped up. Today we have Janet Kennan, the Athletic Director from Azalea Gardens Middle School. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we have the new guy on the block, Kurt Straub from Blair Middle School, first-year Athletic Director of Blair. So Kurt, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about middle school sports. Let's talk about the fall. We've just had a busy time to kick off the year. And I know you can vouch for that, and Kurt has felt that, that busyness getting the year kicked off. So, Kurt, let's start with tennis, our club tennis season. So how did that go?
ADL won the championship for the regular season, and then Blair took the individuals and the doubles championship.
Okay, so with club they had the regular season. Lakewood, won that overall, and then we have a tournament, a singles tournament, where the Blair kids, student athletes, came out on top. So congratulations to them.
Thank you.
And I think we have a photo of the champions to show. So Janet, let's talk about volleyball. We had something different this year.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead. So
Norfolk took it all. Norfolk, the boys and girls won it this year. They hadn't done that in a while, so that was great to see their progress and improvement. So it was really great.
Okay. All right. So moving after volleyball, Kurt, we gave you softball to run this year, and the first time our softball tournament was able to move to Azalea Gardens complex, Little League complex, and it was a nice venue to host 3 games. So talk about the softball season and the tournament.
In the finals, we had Azalea and we had Northside. Northside wound up winning, I believe, 6-1.
Yes,
it was a good game. It was 1-0 for about 3 innings, and then Northside kind of opened it up a little bit, but Azalea fought hard, and they got a good team.
Okay, so with softball and all the sports, how many games is the regular season?
6 games, and then I believe there was a semifinal game, which it was Blair, Northside, Azalea, and ADL, and then there's a championship.
Okay, so if you go all the way to the finals, you get 8 games
That's correct.
To participate in, so that's good. So that leads us into something that is coming up, and it's a sport that seems to be taking off for us, and that's football. This year, in our finals, we have Azalea versus Norview. It's a rematch. So, Janet, talk about that rematch.
All right, I'm very excited about this coming up. First of all, can I just give a shout out to the team that you put together, the athletic trainers. They're doing a great job. Christina, Molly, Courtney, and Kyle. They really stepping up. As a matter of fact, our concussions have gone down a lot. The proper training that the coaches are getting now is really, doing a great job. And I thank you for that, because that is a very aggressive sport. And it's great to see that those concussions are going down, because the training that the coaches are getting. But back to that, yes, we are excited about, we're going to have a rematch pretty much with Norview. We had played them early in the season. We beat them 22-6. So we're looking forward to a great game, and we're just asking everybody to come out and show their support, parents, teachers, everybody,
Okay, so the middle school football tournament, we just concluded our semifinal game, which we had Norview, the number 2 seed out of the north, playing the number 1 seed out of the south, which was Blair Middle School. And that game ended up 34-16 in favor of Norview. And then the number 1 team out of the north, Azalea, took on the number 2 team, Ruffner, and again, an easy win to move into that finals at 34-8. So the finals will be this Thursday, November the 3rd, Powhatan Stadium, 6 o'clock. And what are the ticket prices like?
Well, adults are $5, teachers going to be $4, and students $2.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to this. Going to help us as far as advancing the program with our budget, because we need all the money we can get pretty much, because middle school is a great, factor as far as leading into high school. So we're really looking forward to everybody coming out supporting, middle school sports.
Okay. And with that, I know we have a number of sponsorships that assist this game, and Sheriff McCabe is the title sponsor. And he's been involved with this game for 7 years now, and so again, we appreciate his time with this. Also, we're bringing back some high school bands this year. Norview's band and Booker T's band will be performing prior to the game and then during halftime. So that's a unique thing. So what does that make the middle school teams and cheerleaders feel like when they see a band?
Oh, they big time. They feel like, it's up to that level when they're going up to high school, because that's what they're going to be presented with. So it's really, they're excited about it in the program. And also the fact that you brought Cam Chancellor in, helping the program. I think he's doing a wonderful job with the students. He's actually coming out. I wish you can get more, NBA, NFL people to come back and give us support, because they're doing big things out there now. Starting off here, middle school, high school, moving on to, playing college and professional. Okay,
so. And that's a good point. Cam has done a very nice job with our uniforms. So, all right, so we're looking forward to that game. Now, we finished that game.
Okay.
We jump right into Winter One Sports. So, Kurt, what do we have to offer for our student athletes?
We have boys and girls soccer, which Blair is the defending champion
Yeah.
of those, and then we have wrestling coming up.
Okay. Janet, what about activities?
We have debate also coming up
Okay.
also with debate.
All right, so to participate in these sports, what does a student athlete have to have in order to practice and play?
They must have a current physical starting from May 1st, 2016 on to present time. They must have a concussion. They got to watch the concussion video. Also the parents. They need to, it's best that they watch it together, and then they have to sign in to turn that in. And also have to do a sportsmanship contract where they watch and talk about sportsmanship, because that's very important now in middle school. We definitely have tightened up on that with the coaches, you know, talking also about behaviors and things like that. So things are getting better with that part, and we
Okay.
hope to see better things
All right.
in the future.
So Kurt, your first year, and obviously, you know, the fall was very busy.
Was busy.
For everybody. So moving into this winter one, you know, what are the good things about participating in middle school sports to tell a student athlete to come out for a team?
It's just something to do besides going to school. You know, they're going to be around their peers. They're going to get coached by coaches. You know, could be a man or a female. Could be a lifelong friend. You know, just it's someone else besides their parents to guide them through life and to guide them through certain situations that they may need.
All right, Janet, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I can talk about that, because it's basically, this is where I came from. In middle school, I got a full scholarship. No, I didn't pay for anything. And it started in middle school. And it kept me on, it kept me grounded, leadership. And that's what we want to represent, want the students to represent: leadership, honesty, trustworthy, teamwork. All those different characters are built up. I know that's what it did for me, coming up throughout the years from young middle school. It keeps you focused, you know, and keep them grounded. It builds a relationship with the students and the teachers. And we ask that the teachers come out, you know, just to support them, you know, and things like that. So it really teaches them a lot. They go on to get a scholarship.
Okay.
You know, so.
Well, again, you two are doing a great job in terms of leadership and providing that support for your coaches, for your student athletes, and the faculty. So, again, thank you, and you know we look forward to seeing you out and about at all the games.
We want to thank you for your leadership. That you're doing a great job too.
Thank you.
Kurt,
Yeah.
Say you were like a whole program.
All right.
First year. Yeah.
For getting broken
Thanks
in.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More MPS Now after this.
Welcome back to MPS Now. With us today is Bonnie Sutton, and she is the president and CEO of the Access College Foundation. Welcome to MPS Now.
Thank you, Karen.
And welcome back to the 10th floor.
I know, old home week.
Yes, you used to be here many years ago, and so
Exactly.
you've moved on to great things with Access Foundation, and I'm a happy parent to have a student who has one of your scholarships, so thank you very much.
That's always very good news to hear, yes.
So for our viewers at home, what is the Access College Foundation?
We are a college access program, meaning that we want to do anything and everything to help the students here in Norfolk Public Schools, and of course throughout the community as well, with college. So we're focused only on that piece of the puzzle, meaning that we will help with planning, awareness, admissions, testing and paying fees, application fees, and those kinds of things. And then our real niche is in finding the money, because we know that academically talented students who can certainly get into college don't often have the funding to pay for college.
Right.
And so that's really been what we have, that's just our specialty in finding money for students to go to college.
And which students are eligible for your services?
This sounds a little broad, but actually every single student in Norfolk Public Schools is potentially eligible for our services. Now, there are different levels. So for instance, if you're not a low to moderate income family, we're probably not going to pay for your SAT and ACT fees and 4 college application fees. But we will still help you on the planning and understanding what your options are. We'll still file that terrible FAFSA form, the free application for federal student aid, to help you find the money. And you could still potentially qualify for our scholarship as well. So there are different levels of services based on family incomes, but generally every single student is eligible for some type of service.
That's great. Give us a little history or background about Access College Foundation.
Okay. We were started by Frank Batten and Josh Darden started right here in Norfolk. They had their businesses in this city and said, you know, this was late 80s and there was a big buzzword on helping students go to college and increasing college going rates. And so they looked around and worked with then Superintendent Dr. Jean Carter and said, you know, what could we do for the students right here in Norfolk? Found a program in Cleveland, and that's what we were based and modeled after, which is a school-based program, putting an advisor in each of the high schools at that time. We've broadened since then, but we started right here in Norfolk, and we're actually in our 29th year,
Wow.
so we're going to next year have another big celebration, a new anniversary. But Norfolk is where we started. That's been the heart of our program for 29 years.
At what grade level do you begin providing these services and sharing information about Access College Foundation?
Initially, we were high school, just that 9 to 12th grade group, and really focused on high school. Over the last 10 years, we have broadened that to what I call bookends. We're now working with every 7th and 8th grader in Norfolk, not in every school in the region, but in Norfolk, we're in every one of those middle schools as well. And then we also have a bookend on the other end of high school, meaning once we help students go to college, we want to help them stay there and complete their program. So we also have a college success program on 13 college campuses. So 7th grade through college graduation, that's our continuum, and those are the students that we're impacting.
So what are your goals for these students that you're working with?
Well, every student's different, as we know. Some students will go to a 4-year college, and some students, that's just not what they desire to do. They want to do something else, perhaps get a community college degree, a certificate program, go into some kind of apprenticeship. So what we're trying to do is focus on what is the appropriate post-secondary education for that student. And that's what we want to help them with. If it has a fee attached to it, we want to help them find the money to go there. Primarily, our scholars, those getting our scholarship, are 4-year college students. We have about 14% at Tidewater Community College, and then the rest of the students are at a 4-year. And our goal is just to help them complete what's appropriate for them. What do they want to do? What kind of career do they want to get into, and what kind of education and training will that take?
And how successful are these students in college who receive these scholarships?
Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you look at statistics from all across the country, only 58% of students who go on to college after high school actually complete their program in 6 years. That's a pretty dismal statistic. So we look with our college success program, we really wanted to impact that in a positive way. And our scholars, meaning students who were helped during middle school and high school, and also received our scholarship, and also are on one of the 13 college campuses where we have our college success program, they're graduating at a rate of 90%. And typically that's in 4 to 5 years. It doesn't even take them the 6-year time period. So we have been very proud of that, because that helps students get into their career quicker. It helps them reduce their need for student loans and cost of college, because they're not there as long. So we've been really proud with the success of that program.
Yes, in order to be this successful, what are you doing to provide services while they're still in school, in college?
Well, it's, I had to provide a grant report for a grant that we got when we first started this program. Had to, research-based and evidence-based and so forth. So I used all those good words for that report, but the bottom line is showing up is what is important. When we have a real person, we have 3 college success advisors traveling to those 13 campuses. When you have a person that you know is in your corner and they are showing up on your campus about once a week, sometimes more, and they're trying to find out, what's happening, how are things going with your classes,
Right.
was there anything weird happening with your financial aid, anything we need to help intervene on, then that really gives you an incredible support system that is far beyond the financial support of the scholarship.
So how's the success of our Norfolk Public School students in this scholarship?
Well, Norfolk, of course, is near and dear to my heart since we started here, and I was already with Norfolk Public Schools before Access started, so I feel a real affinity for the Norfolk students. And I'm always wanting, how are we doing in Norfolk? We have helped 17,000 Norfolk students go to college since we started in 1988. The class of '89 was our first class, and we've put them in touch with a lot of money, and they've also 157 million actually.
Wow.
And which was actual money that we know was used by students in college in the programs that we help them get into, and then also 3 million in access scholarships has gone to Norfolk students. So we've put a lot of our time and energy and financial resources into Norfolk, but Norfolk students have really come through and done really well in school.
And this is an ever-evolving program, so what are some of the new initiatives you're thinking about for Norfolk Public Schools?
Okay, we've been in a campaign called College Changes Everything over the last 3 years, and Norfolk was one of the primary focuses of that. We were raising money to really deepen our services, so now we have a full-time advisor in each of the Norfolk schools as of this year. We had that one more to round out, so we completed that this year. We've also added an early college awareness advisor so that we have more advisors traveling to the middle schools. So that really gave us about a 1.5 full-time equivalent in middle schools for Norfolk. And then of course we also added to our college success program to make sure that we're getting to those campuses more often. But I think the critical thing was that now every Norfolk high school has an advisor 5 days a week. So
Wow.
they don't have to have a shared situation where they're gone to another school for 2 days, or, you know, and then it's like, I needed to do this by a certain deadline. They're there every day helping them. And if I might add something about deadlines, financial aid, college, the whole process is deadline driven, and something really significant changed this year on the FAFSA form. It used to be that you could not file that FAFSA until after January 1st. So students in this season were only thinking about getting their college applications in, weren't thinking about financial aid. That changed this year. It was a major change. It actually opened up on October the 1st. So access advisors are fast and furiously filing FAFSA forms, and we would like to know that every single parent of a senior this year is getting into that access office to get some help filing, because truly the early filers will get the most aid.
Okay.
And also the colleges in some cases have moved their priority filing deadlines up. So even though that's a federal form, the Virginia colleges determine who gets state aid based on those deadlines. And some of them are very early now, December 1, January 15th. So we want to make sure that we're filing all those FAFSAs in October, November, and early December.
Thank you for that valuable tip.
Yes.
I have followed through.
Okay, wonderful.
Making
No,
sure that
duly noted.
we're secured, yes. So parents and students, if they want to get involved with the Access College Foundation, what do they need to do?
Well, in every high school, they can walk into the counseling office and say, hey, where's my access advisor? Also, of course, our website, accesscollege.org, has a drop-down menu. You can select what school you're in, and then that will tell you who is your advisor, what's their email address, and so forth and so on. They can certainly call our main office, and we can direct them to how to connect with their advisor. The middle school advisors is a little different because they're roaming there, but still checking in with their counseling department will let them know when, you know, the next time that an access advisor is going to be there. But definitely get in to see those advisors. We're here to help. All of our services are free. It's funded by the business community and individuals in our area. So it's a great example of generous folks in the community funding a program for our public school students. So never a fee for the parents.
Wow.
All of our services are free. Get in there and take advantage of them.
I agree. And thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing this important and valuable information.
Thank you so much. We love to get the access word out.
That's right. And we want to thank you for watching MPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.mpsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information you'd like to share, email us at nps_news@mpsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching MPS Now.